Okay, continuing where I left off. What will we do? Wondered Pavan Agarwal, an assistant engineer with the State of Public Health and Engineering Department. What will he do? Well, you could put a stop to this. That's the first thing he could do. As he walked across the stretch of dusty fields near Mr. Yadav's water farm, we have to deliver water. Well, if you have to deliver water, why are you selling it then for a profit? Signifies that, it's required. It needs to be done. He swept his arms across the field, dotted with the government wells. This one, dug 10 years ago, had already gone dry. In that one, the water had sunk down to 130 feet. If it were not for the fact that electricity comes only 5 hours a day, they only get electricity for 5 hours a day, every farmer in the area, Mr. Agarwal ventured, would be pumping around the clock. If it were not for the fact that electricity comes only 5 hours a day, every farmer in the, holy moly, 5 hours a day. I couldn't imagine saving for a dry day. If groundwater can be thought of as a nation's savings account for dry, desperate drought years, then India, which has more than its share of them, is rapidly exhausting the reserve. That situation is true in a growing number of states. Again, why doesn't the government do something? Indian surveyors have divided the country into 5,723 geographic blocks. More than 1,000 are considered either overexploited, meaning more water is drawn on average than is replenished by rain, or critical, meaning they are dangerously close to it. 20 years ago, according to the Central Groundwater Board, only 250 blocks fell into those categories. Only 250 blocks out of 5,723. Wow. So it went from 250 blocks to 1,000. Wow. We have come to the worst already, was the verdict of A. Sakar. By these names, they have to be Indian people. Who until recently was an advisor on the Water Planning Commission in India. At this rate, he projected the number of areas at risk is most likely to double in the next dozen years. That's scary. Across India, where most people still live off the land, the chief source of irrigation is groundwater, at least for those who can afford to pump it. Again, if this is a crisis means that something else has to be done. And the fact that they're charging these people, they can't afford to pump it. This is a crisis. They're in a crisis. Something else needs to be done and needs to change. Here in Jaipur district, a normally parched area of the West New Delhi, known for its regal palaces, farmers depend on groundwater almost exclusively. Across Rajasthan, these are so difficult to pronounce, state where Jaipur is situated, up to 80% of the groundwater blocks are in danger of running out.